What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. It is a beautiful Tuesday as we are back with another 5-year new look rebuild. As today we'll be doing a team that just made it to the NBA Finals and done a lot of good things to get even better this offseason. Let's just go ahead, jump in, and do this 5-year new look Dallas Mavericks rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We're currently on the road to 50,000 subs. My goal is to try to reach it before this year is over or get somewhat close. So if you want to go ahead and help me out with that goal, that would be much appreciated. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, if you are looking for a share scenario to do your own rebuilds at home, on Xbox, if you just search for my gamer tag, some people have told me they've been able to access it on PS5 as well. But just search up that gamer tag under Crushables. I've done my best job to update it as much as possible. But let's go ahead and talk about what the Dallas Mavericks have done this offseason. So, of course, they, just to kind of point out the timeline, they get Kyrie Irving at the deadline a couple years ago. Everyone thought they were crazy. That was when Kyrie had so much drama going on, and he was on a 1-year deal, but Dallas ends up getting him back. They get Lively and they draft Lively that offseason when they missed the playoffs. They get Gafford and Washington at the deadline, and then now this offseason, they sign and trade for Klay Thompson. They get Quinn Grimes. They get Najee Marshall, and they also just signed Spencer Dinwiddie. So what a beautiful offseason it has been for the Dallas Mavericks. They've done a fantastic job of getting even better even after just making it to the NBA Finals. So let's just go ahead and jump straight into year number 1, shall we? So let's go ahead and get straight into things, and we can kind of see what this rotation is going to look like for year number 1, and I'm excited to see what 2K thinks about this Dallas Mavericks roster, and we'll see how far they truly go in year number 1 without me touching a single thing. But let's get into it. Let's look at the rotation all together. But unfortunately, we have to cut 4 players. So let's go ahead and do that. So we got to cut 4 different guys here. So Melvin Ajinça, I believe, is who they literally just drafted. So I'll probably leave him on the team. I'll cut Alex Fudge. I'll cut AJ Lawson. I'll cut Brendan Williams, and I'll cut Greg Brown. So that's, pretty easy to do. I'll just go ahead and start with that. All right. Let's get in the rotation now. So we are going to run a 10-man rotation because I know this team has depth. We're going to shrink the bench utilization down quite a bit, and we'll see what the starting 5 is looking like. So you got Luka, Kyrie. Okay, already Exum is definitely not starting for us. I'm sorry. We can move Klay Thompson to small forward. He will start for us. And then I can see Klay coming off the bench as well for Dallas. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going to throw him in here in the starting 5. So it'll be Luka, Kyrie, Klay, Washington, and Gafford. I kind of like the idea of starting Lively, though, this year, so I'm going to start Lively. But Gafford off the bench is great. Quinn Grimes, Jaden Hardy, Najee Marshall, and then Dante Exum as your 10-man rotation. Looks pretty solid to me. Obviously, like I said, Dinwiddie just got signed. Prosper is someone who can maybe crack the rotation next year as well. Kleba is always a guy that's playing in the rotation. So this team is deep. So, if you hate the rotation, I understand, but I'm just going to go with what I guess the 10 best players are according to 2K. For this first season, and then we can send Mr. Prosper to the G League, and then we can do the same thing with the Ajinça. And I think Prosper will be a rotational piece as soon as next year. So let's go ahead to my year number 1, and let's see how this Dallas Mavericks roster does without me doing a single thing and just rocking with what they got so far. Today's video is brought to you by 2 softwares that are designed to help you beat the sports books and become a much profitable sports bettor. So let's start on Daily Grind Fantasies Optimizer. So if you play on apps such as Prize Picks, Underdog, Parlay Play Better, this is the tool for you. This is a clutch tool to help you find good plays over on Prize Picks. So what it does, it compares discrepancies across sports books. Now it is late at night as I'm recording this, so we don't have any major sports examples at the moment. But basically, as you can see on Jackie Love listed at 11 on Prize Picks, you have 2 other data points telling you 9.5 and 10. So just kind of think of this, I guess, as like the stock market or whatever. I don't know exactly how the stock market works, but that's what everybody says. So basically, if you're going to take the under on Jackie Love, right? Why would it make any sense to go to Hot Streak and bet the under at 9.5? It would make no sense to do that. We can get a better line on Prize Picks at 11. That's basically how this works. You have all kinds of access to all kinds of sports books. You take the best price possible that you can find, just like car shopping. So this is a great tool for that, for all these DFS apps. I also use OzJam's Positive EV tool, which also has a fantasy optimizer as well, but they also focus on traditional sports books, such as, FanDuel, Fanatics, DraftKings, all that. So if we take a look at this Tampa Bay Rays run line, which is for tomorrow at 6 you got minus 140 odds. And the reason why we would take this over at, or I guess you could get this, I guess you can get a better price on ESPN Bet. So I'm not sure why it's telling me to go take this on Fanatics. But regardless, you can get your best price at ESPN Bet here at plus 1.5. It would make no sense to take this at Fliff or Rebet or FanDuel. We can get the absolute best price over on ESPN Bet. So that is what this basically, how this basically works. You're just line shopping and you're figuring out which book has the best price for this prop and what is mispriced. So if you want to check out either tool, all these props help you become a much profitable sports bettor. If you want to check out any of these softwares, links are down in the description below. If you use my code Crushables, you get a percentage off your first month. OddsJam has a 7-day free trial as well. Make sure to take advantage of that, especially if you bet on sports seriously. I promise you, I would not be telling you this if I didn't believe it. It has absolutely changed everything for me as a sports bettor. Other than that, let's get back to the video. So at the end of year 1, Shea wins MVP. Alex Sarr, Rookie of the Year on the Wizards. Russ is your 6th man on the Nuggets. Defensive player goes to Wemby. Isaiah Joe, Most Improved. And Trey is your clutch player. And Mark is your Coach of the Year. So here's your NBA first team. Of course, you get Luka Doncic, expecting to see that for 5 straight seasons in today's video. Here's your All-NBA second and All-NBA third, All-Offensive first, and All-Defensive second team. Here's your all-rookie teams as well. So we end up as the 3rd seed in the West, which is kind of where I expected to be, you know, to be in the thick of things in the Western Conference. You had 29 from Luka, 25 from Kyrie. You had 14 from Jaden Hardy, who I also decided to extend. He had an expiring contract, and I know he's a very good player in 2K, especially as like a 6-man role. Klay Thompson, 13.5, 11 from Washington, 10 from Gafford, 7.5 from Marshall, 7 from Lively, and then 6 from Quentin Grimes, and then 4 from Dante Exum. But now it is time to get into the playoffs and see if we can get back to the NBA Finals for a straight, back-to-back. So we get LA in round 1, who has D'Lo, Reeves, Rui, LeBron, AD, Vanderbilt, Jackson Hayes, Dalton Connect, and Christian Wood. So let's go ahead and make current round against LA, and we are going to beat them in 5. So we're off to a good start, but now we run into Denver. So, of course, these are the 4 teams that are probably the scariest out west at the moment. And, we get Denver in round 2. So that should be fun. Jokic versus Doncic. Second round sounds like a ton of fun. Let's see if we can beat Denver or not. And we are going to be down 3-2. All right. Well, we are backs against the wall at this point to force a game 7. We are in Dallas for this game 6. And it looks like we're kind of blowing them out right now. So it looks like we have a good chance of forcing this game 7. And we do, in fact, force a game 7 back to Denver. So now it is time to see if we can go into game 7 in Denver to come out of this as with a conference finals appearance once again. But it looks like Denver, oh, wait a minute. Just kidding. We come back at the very end, and we are going to beat them to advance to the conference finals, and we get the Minnesota Timberwolves once again in a rematch. So that's a ton of fun. So we get, Conley, Edwards, Jay McDaniels, Cat, Gobert. So, of course, Dallas beat this team brutally last year. They have Dillingham now, so that's changed a little bit. Let's go ahead and see if we can beat Minnesota. And no, we get swept. Wow. Minnesota had our number by a mile. They did not even give us a chance. We lose very dramatically in the conference finals, so that sucks. But Knicks and Timberwolves is your finals, and the Timberwolves go on and win it all. Edwards is your finals MVP. So Minnesota gets it done. Unfortunately for us, we go home empty-handed. Now, we got to the conference finals again, which is great, but obviously the goal is to get Luka Doncic a championship, maybe even 2 or 3. But yeah, not a good start. So Bulls get number 1, and then I believe our pick, I don't even know if we have our pick this offseason. So it says we do, and I picked 24, so that's great. Let's get straight to staff signing. So Jason Kidd, and we made it to the conference finals, so I'm not going to fire him just because we lost in the conference finals. It did suck, don't get me wrong, but I will keep him around for now. But let's get straight into the draft night, because we do have a 2025 first round pick. So it does say we have a 2026 first as well. I'm not exactly sure what picks have actually been sent out by Dallas, so maybe it would be a good time for me to check. So we do have, or did Kleba retire? Or am I tripping? Oh, Kleba might have retired. Did he retire? Kleba, are you gone? Where did Maxi Kleba go? Am I just being dumb right now? He may have retired. Oh, he did retire. Very interesting. At 33, Kleba called it a career. Wow. I mean, it doesn't bother me that much because he kind of sucks in 2K, but wow, I did not expect that. So I thought we'd have a salary to maybe make a trade here. Kind of sucks that he retired, but whatever. I'm not going to restart the video just because Kleba retired. But 24th overall pick. I guess I'm going to double check this, make sure that we actually have this pick. But Prosper going to be a huge part of the rotation next year, so I'm excited for that. And we'll just see what we can do to get better this offseason. All right, so 2K does have it right. So we have our 2025 and our 2026 first. Okay, just wanted to double check on that because I know they sent out quite a few firsts out. But So with our, what are we picking at? I believe it's like 25th in this draft or something like that. So we are picking, not that it matters all that much, but yeah, we're picking at 24. So in this 2025 draft at pick 24, who do we want to take? So we have DJ Wagner, we have Rocco, we have Noah, we have Aaron Bradshaw, Gary. I think I kind of like the idea of one of these guards. So we got DJ Wagner, who's an all-star, Rocco, kind of like my center rotation. Obviously, Noah would be, pretty fun as well. I don't think we could really go wrong with any of these guys. I think we get a really good player at this pick, so I can't really be too mad about whoever we take. I do think I'm going to take DJ Wagner here, though, out of Arkansas. So welcome to Dallas. Very happy to have you. And then we have a late second. I'll take Stojakovic. So we'll get him out of Stanford. I believe that's Peja's son, if I'm not mistaken. So Wagner, Stojakovic, really can't go wrong with that draft. That's a pretty solid draft, so I'll take that. Kyrie Irving actually declines his player option, which is quite surprising. And then we get Lively, Prosper, and Ajinça, which we'll all accept. And then Kyrie, of course, will be a must re-sign in free agency. Quentin Grimes is also a free agent. I definitely have interest in bringing him back. Kyrie does have an offer from the Lakers, which makes sense. The Lakers have wanted to get him, LeBron James, although LeBron finally retired. So, yeah, we'll bring Kyrie back. I think that's a no-brainer. And then we'll have Prosper step up the rotation. We'll probably be just running it back again, to be honest with you. I mean, this team is in the second apron by a long shot. So, it's not like we have a ton of flexibility at this point. So, let's just make sure we get Kyrie back, because I don't believe... I mean, I guess technically we'll have some money if we move on from Kyrie, but I'm not ready to move on from Kyrie Irving. I don't think that's something we should do. Now, I don't know about giving him a 5-year deal. I think giving him a 3-year deal would keep me more than comfortable to do that. So, I'll give Kyrie a 3-year deal, and I'm totally fine with that, like I said. And then we'll get Quentin Grimes back as well. So, let's just re-sign him. So, that would, kind of give us... We'll kind of see what we do with Hardy. I guess we could technically let Quentin Grimes go, but we might as well bring the salary back to maybe have it as a trade piece. So we'll just go ahead and bring him back on a nice little contract. So Quentin Grimes is back as well. We'll figure out the rotation later, and I'm very happy with that offseason. So nothing significant. We draft really well, and then Derek Lively is up. You got Prosper up to a 78, so he's going to be joining the rotation next year, which is great. Jaden Hardy is going to keep playing. Najee Marshall has regressed. We can move him to small forward. I know he'd play. So let's see. If I move to small forward, he goes up to 78. So I am going to go ahead and put him a small forward as well. So kind of have a little bit of a thing going. I know Najee Marshall will technically be our backup power forward, but whatever. So let's get straight into next season. Year number 2. Not a crazy first off season. We didn't do anything too wild or extravagant. I can say the freaking word. But at this point, I like the roster how it is. We will do things to upgrade. We'll do our best. Obviously, Dallas is going to be limited on what they could do. They've sent out assets already. But we're going to do, as long as we have Luka Doncic, we're always going to have a chance. So we'll look at our proficiency. We're 4-star perimeter centric. We'll leave it at that. And same starting 5, I believe. So yeah, it'll be Luka, Kyrie. Now, Clay did regress. So that's definitely something to keep note of. So he is, let's see. So he is, he's got 2 years or another year left in his contract after this. Okay. So Washington, Lively, Gafford, Quentin Grimes, Najee Marshall, and then Prosper. And that leaves Jaden Hardy completely out of the rotation, which I feel a little bit bad about. Then we can send Wagner and Stojakovic to the G League, and that's how we can kind of keep developing these young guys. So we got to sign a minimum guy, but that's fine. So we'll go ahead and do just that. We'll simulate this season, and we will see if we potentially stop at the deadline and make a move, or if we just keep running it and seeing how this team does in the playoffs once again. So at the end of year number 2, LaMelo wins MVP. Cooper Flagg's your Rookie of the Year on the Jazz. Nikola is your 6th man. Wemby Defensive Player. And Dillingham Most Improved in Minnesota. Trey's your Clutch Player. And Charles Lee is your Coach of the Year. And Nicholas Babcock is your Executive. So, shout out to the Hornets. Luka, once again, All-NBA first team. No surprise there. Here's All-Offensive first team and All-Defensive second team. I do wonder if we get maybe... I was kind of wondering if Prosper would make an All-Rookie team, but... he does not. So I was kind of hoping that he would because he hasn't played yet. But we do get the first team in the West, which is why I decided not to make a move at the deadline. So Luka averages 28, 26 from Kyrie. Clay with 12.5, Washington with 11.5, and then Daniel Gafford with 9.5. So I did extend Washington and Gafford at the extension deadline. I just thought it made sense to do so. So Washington's locked up for 3 more years after this, along with Gafford as well. So those guys are both locked up, which is great. So yeah, we're kind of keeping the continuity at the moment, but we do have some salaries that we could send out. Not that we can combine salaries at the moment, because I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're well over the second apron. I guess technically we're not. Wow, I'm actually surprised by that. I thought for sure we were over the second apron. That's wild. But regardless, let's go ahead and simulates current round against the Phoenix Suns to start things off here. So we are the first seed. They are the 8th seed. Hopefully, and I did, by the way, run a 10-minute rotation, so I did get Jaden Hardy in for some minutes, so that was great. What did he do this year for us, by the way? So I am leaving him out. He averaged 8 points. Feel bad for leaving him out. I guess we could throw him in over Najee Marshall, but once again, I'll just listen to what 2K's rotation suggestions are. So still make her around against Phoenix, and we are going to beat them in 5. So that's a good start. The Minnesota has been eliminated. That is the team that eliminated us, but now we get Houston, who has Jamal Murray. Now they have Amon, Cameron Whitmore, Tyree Easton, Şengün, Jabari, Dylan Brooks, and Reed Shepherd. So still make her around against Houston, and we are down 3-1. Okay, wow. The Rockets pop up out of nowhere and become a very terrifying force in the West with the Jamal Murray addition, it looks like. But it looks like we are going to at least force a game 6. We're not done just yet. Maybe we force a game 7, and then there's nothing to talk about. But Houston definitely is on our tail here. There's no guarantee we're winning this game, and they are going to eliminate us. Wow. So we go from conference finals, NBA finals before that, and now we get eliminated in round 2. So we have taken a step back quite a bit. Very disappointing. You got Oklahoma City and Charlotte, and you got the Hornets going on to win it all. LaMelo is your finals MVP. Wow. All right, well, definitely some changes to be made this offseason. I don't think we could just run it back again. I think we got to do some things. So let's get straight to the lottery. So we know we're going to have our 26th pick again. So one thing Dallas can do technically is trade their pick on draft night. That does not, the step-in rule does not affect that. So we are going to do something about that. So I do believe with 2 back-to-back kind of disappointing playoff runs, I think it's time to fire Jason Kidd. Maybe get like a new, new guy in the building. So I'll start with Nick Nurse. I don't even know if he's going to accept that or not, but I'll go ahead and throw him an offer. Doc Rivers, no thank you. Mike Malone would be fun as well, but again, I don't know if I'll get him, so I'll offer Mike Malone. So I'm going after all the big fish right now, and we're going to see if we can get at least one of them. If not, all right, so yeah, Quinn Snyder, Mike Malone, Nick Nurse. We already offered Mike Malone and Nick Nurse. I will also try for Quinn Snyder as well. So let's see if we get one of them. And all 3 of them are going to... Or no, we get Quinn Snyder to sign. W. Wait, can we... No. So we're going to get Quinn Snyder. I'll definitely take that. So Snyder's our brand new head coach. We'll, be very happy with that. So Quinn Snyder, welcome to Dallas. Kind of wanted Nick Nurse the most, but, I'll settle for Quinn Snyder. I can't be too mad about that. So Jason Kidd is gone. We get a new head coach in the building. And now it is time to go ahead and get a brand new guard guru. And then we got to figure out how are we about to improve this roster? So we are here on draft night with this 29th pick. And again, you can trade picks on draft night. That doesn't affect the step-in rule, but we only have a few contracts to trade out. So I do think I'm more than fine with trading out Quentin Grimes' salary. That means getting an upgrade. So we're going to see what that means. And again, I think cap holds might affect this now. So yeah, with cap holds, it says we're on the second apron because Luka Doncic's contract is crazy right now. But yeah, so let's go ahead and try to stay in the second apron rules and see if we can bring in somebody of Quentin Grimes or trade Quentin Grimes' salary out and see if we can bring in a brand new addition. I don't know what we technically need. I think Widener will be able to step up next year. Jaden Hardy, I still like him at shooting guard. Prosper and Marshall, are at the 3 right now. I guess if there was anything, it'd be a maybe potential power forward. So we'll see what that looks like. So I didn't really see anything that I like. So we're just going to go ahead and draft here with 29 and see if we can get another good player here. So Caleb Wilson does not sound too bad. So let's see. So he's projected, or his ceiling is an all-star. So yeah, I think I can walk away with Caleb Wilson and feel pretty solid about that. So we'll take him out of the draft. So yeah, feeling pretty solid about that. Options, Luka Doncic declines. And then so does Clay. I did not expect Clay to decline his player option, but that should... put us under the second apron. So I'm actually okay with Clay declining that. I would have traded him anyway, probably this offseason with that $60 million salary. But Lively, Prosper, and Stojakovic we will accept, or, of course, accept. And then Ajinça is a free agent. I mean, I'm not totally concerned about him. Obviously, our main priority is making sure Luka Doncic is still a Dallas Maverick, because losing him would be doomsday. So he does often leave the Mavericks quite a bit, though. So we are going to have to fork over a lot of money. So... Please don't leave me, Luka Doncic. Okay, thank you. I was about to say, bro, if we lose Luka Doncic, this video is just gone to crap. So, we get Luka back. That would have been GG if we would have lost him. So, Luka's back. We will not be bringing back Klay Thompson. I think I'm more than okay with letting him go. We have so much young talent that I think Ajinça could probably go as well. So, now it's time to figure out where do we do next. Now, I do believe, I could be wrong, though. So, yeah, we are, in fact, under the second apron. So, we can combine as many salaries as we want, which is a beautiful thing to think about. So, we got to make a big trade, which is what I'm about to do here. So we, have the young players, I think, to pull something off. I think for the most part, I want a brand new starting forward. I think that's where I want to go with this. If that means, playing Washington at the 3 if we need to. I just want a brand new power forward in the building that's going to push us over the top. So that's where I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go for someone that I don't often go for, and that is going to be Denny Avdia off the Portland Trailblazers. He's on a fantastic contract, so I'm going to start with Quentin Grimes' salary being offered in here. Obviously, we got to offer more than just that. So I'm going to offer Caleb Wilson as well, who I just got in the draft. It sucks to lose him, but if we are getting, like I said, if we're going to get Denny Avdia, I think we got to sign up for that. So I'm going to offer Grimes, Caleb Wilson, and then I'm fine with also throwing Stojakovic in there. It does suck. I think he'd be a really good player for us next year, but if we're getting Denny Avdia, I want to do this all day, and they do agree. So just like that, we get Denny Avdia here on the Dallas Mavericks, which I absolutely love. So we bring in a brand new forward. I don't often get him, so I'm excited about this. Average 12.5, 40% shooting from 3, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. So I really like the versatility of him, and he's still only 25 years old. So I'm excited about that addition. I think that's going to move PJ Washington to small forward, and we're going to play Denny at power forward. So that's what we'll do eventually. But that's kind of our big swing, and we're kind of hoping that Wagner develops. We're hoping that Hardy jumps up. Prosper and Marshall are going to still be a big part of things. Now, we could trade Marshall for a traditional power forward if we wanted to right now, so maybe we look into doing that. So let's see. Do we want to do anything free agency? Now, we could bring back DFS, but he'll probably regress at this point. So let's throw Marshall in here and see if we get offered a power forward somehow. So we'll start there. So power forward, so Caleb Martin does, get offered to us. Marshall, we could get Derek Jones Jr. back. That would be fun, but not really the power forward I'm looking for. Dariq Whitehead, Jalen Noel, Aaron Neesmith would be solid as well. But yeah, I'm looking for more, traditional power forward, and we're just not really getting that. So Caleb Martin would be fun. Maybe we just keep Najee Marshall and just call it fine. So yeah, I guess we'll just keep Najee Marshall. So moment of truth is to find out. I guess I'll also sign DFS for some depth. We'll just sign him. We'll bring him back to Dallas. Why not? Just in case he stays, a good enough overall to justify it. So, hoping Wagner jumps up. Hoping, Prosper jumps up. Maybe we get some other development somewhere else. But you do have Lively up to an 85, Denny up to an 84, Washington up, Jaden Hardy is up, and so is Wagner. So that's great. Unfortunately, Prosper doesn't jump up, and then Dorian Finney-Smith actually stays the same as well. That's all fantastic, but I'm very excited for year number 3 to see if Denny Avdia is going to make any difference at all. Klay Thompson won't be on the team either as well. I know some old players, bring down teams, but I'm excited about what we did this offseason. I think we achieved quite a bit, and I cannot wait to see how we do going into year number 3. So at the end of year number 3, Luka Doncic wins MVP, AJ is your Rookie of the Year, Nikola Sixth-Man wins Defensive Player, BJ Most Improved, and Halliburton's a Clutch Player, and Quinn Snyder Coach of the Year as we went 61 and 21. So it looks like making a few changes this offseason really paid off, so I'm excited about that. So let's go ahead and see if we can go on to win this whole bad boy and finally bring Luka Doncic to the championship, his first one. So yeah, I had 27 from Luka Doncic, you had 23 from Kyrie Irving, 15 from Jaden Hardy, 12.5 from Denny Avdia, 10.5 from Wagner, 10 from Washington, 9 from Lively, and then 9 from Gafford, 5 from Prosper, and then 5 from Marshall. So let's shrink this bad boy down to a 9-man rotation, and let's just get straight into these playoffs. And one thing I don't even think I really looked at is proficiency. So we're running a 4-star, 7 seconds. So they want to start Prosper over Washington, which is very interesting. But you know what? I can dig it. I can get behind it. So let's go ahead and simulate this season, or simulate this first round against the Grizzlies and see if we can make it back to the conference finals, and we sweep the Grizzlies, no problem. Now we draw San Antonio, who has Trey with Wemby. So Trae Young does finally end up with Wemby. They've also drafted Ace Bailey. They have Stephon Castle still on their bench. So a really solid team in San Antonio. Wemby is always a tough guy to deal with. So we'll see what happens here. But we sweep them, no problem. So now we draw the Thunder. So, wow, the Thunder got Josh Giddey back. Of course they did. So he goes back to Oklahoma City for $13 million. So that makes them probably unstoppable again. So let's see if we can beat OKC, or we're going to get bounced in the conference finals again. Okay, so we were down 2-0 at one point, but we evened it up. So all we got to do now is see if we can lock in. And let's see if we can win Game 5. Why does PJ Washington suck in 2K Sim? Like, him and OG and some other guys just absolutely suck in the 2K Sim no matter what you do with them. But regardless, do we beat the Thunder in Game 5? Yes, we do. All right, we could be punching our ticket to the NBA Finals if, and only if, we can beat the Thunder here one more time. So let's see if we can do just that. It would be beautiful to do it in this Game 6 in OKC. Not to sweat a Game 7 at home. That would really suck. And we got ourselves a close one, but OKC is going to crawl out of this and force a Game 7. Toronto is awaiting us if we are to get past the Thunder here. So let's see if we can win game 7. This one's in Dallas. Let's come out swinging. Let's see if we can take care of Oklahoma City. We're going to go home in the conference finals once again. It's been very close, but Oklahoma City has pretty much controlled the game the whole entire time. And it looks like they might be running away with it. And we might be going home in the conference finals once again for the second time. Wait a minute. No, they ran away with it. We made it kind of close at the end there. But another conference finals appearance. Really unfortunate. This time we didn't get swept at least. But yeah, kind of disappointing. The Thunder go on to win it all. Of course, it's probably only because they got Josh Giddey back. I don't know why he makes them overpowered. But all right, 3 seasons in this video. Have not got a championship just yet. A little disappointed. But we'll keep chipping away at it. So our pick is going to, go somewhere else this offseason. Staff signing Quinn Snyder will keep around. We just really got really close to making it back to the finals. Unfortunately, fell short. Does Mike Brown want to be an assistant? That would be phenomenal. So Mike Brown, welcome. So we're going to get Mike Brown to be our assistant here in Dallas. That's a great get for us. So I'm excited about that. We're probably more than likely just going to run this bad boy back. I really like what we were doing in the regular season and as a roster. I think if we play the Thunder without Josh Giddey, I think we would have beat them. And that sounds dumb to say, but Josh Giddey in 2K, for whatever reason, just makes the Thunder that much better. Like, I don't know. So we got a second-round pick. Not really concerned about it. I'm going to accept Wagner. I know Lively's a free agent, so is Prosper. So 2 guys we definitely want to bring back. All right, so free agency. Lively is going to demand a lot of money, which is to be expected, but we are going to resign Prosper. I think resigning Lively to this salary, of course, is going to put us in the second apron. So I'm definitely going to try to take this to day 12. I feel like he's going to get an offer, and we'll match it as soon as possible, but no significant offer just yet, so we're chilling for now. But let's just see if we can get him for as cheap as possible on the last day of free agency, and we'll, settle on that. So let's see if we can do that. All right, so day 12, and let's offer him a contract now. So day 12, so we can get him for 25, kind of what Claxton got. I'm more than happy with that. Let's do that, and he will accept it. So W, 4 years, 100 million. That's pretty exciting. All right, so everyone, as you can see, is progressing. Prosper is up, Wagner, Hardy, all of this is going up, which is great. No one's going down. So we're simply running it back for a, another time. Got really, really close to making the finals. I think this year could be the year we get it done. I really do believe that. If not, I guess we maybe make one more all-in move in year 5, but we're going to year 4. And just hoping and praying that this finally works out. So Brian can land us 12th. 4 stars, 7 seconds. We got Mike Brown as the assistant now. I'm feeling pretty confident about this being the year. I guess if one thing we could do, maybe we could eventually upgrade from PJ Washington. I guess we can maybe try that later on. But for now, we'll just simulate this season. And we'll see how this ends up. Here, Nikola Jokic gets the MVP, so no Luka Doncic MVP or anything like that. But we once again, Luka makes another All-NBA first team. We once again just ran it back. So we are the 3rd seed in the West, and we do draw the Denver Nuggets, who of course just had the MVP. So you had 25 from Luka, 22 from Kyrie, 14 from Hardy, 12 from Denny Avdia, 11 from Washington, 11 from Wagner, and then 9 and Lively also had 9 from Gafford and Lively, respectfully. All right. Here we go. We get Denver in round 1. We were able to beat them a couple years ago. Now they have Christopher Washington and Darren Peterson as their backcourt. They got Derek Jones Jr. as well. Bagley, Deron Holmes. Let's go ahead and see if we can beat the Nuggets in round 1. And we are going to beat them in 5. So we're off to a good start. So no Oklahoma City or no Minnesota. So this could be a clear path, although we do draw Utah. Well, it looks like they have a phenomenal team, as you can see. So it's Collier, Green, Cooper Flag, Nas Reed, Walker Kessler, George, Markin, and holy moly, this is a deep roster. Wow, so we just ran into another different powerhouse in the West. A little nervous about this one, not gonna lie. We'll see how it goes though. Somebody current round. And we're down 3-0. Man, we are just having no success with this Mavericks roster today. I mean, literally, as soon as Oklahoma City is not in the way, no Minnesota, I'm like, okay, maybe we have a chance. And then Utah has this God squad. But we are gonna at least win one game here. Maybe, like, there's a sliver of a chance that we come back from a 3-0 deficit, but against this Utah team, I don't think it's going to happen. But hey, we'll see. So they start off with the lead here. We did have it for a second. They take it. We get it back and forth. We steal this one away. We are going to steal it. Okay. Well, all it takes is one more game to force a game 7, and then we could really have ourselves a conversation here. So game 6, this one's in Dallas. The fact that we stole that game 5 was huge. Now we got to win this game 6. And we go to a game 7. So let's see if we can Win this game 6. We are going to have the lead, and we are going to win game 6. Okay. All right. Did 2K do all this just for us to lose in game 7? Let's find out. They start off fiery in the first quarter. We kind of, shrink the lead a little bit. Come on, man. We got this far just to lose like this. Why did we even come back from 2-0? 2K is just messing with my emotions right now. Like, literally. That sucks. Okay. Well, what can you do? 121 to 138. 32 from Kyrie. 30 from Luka Doncic. Utah, just too good of a team. Utah gets there, and they lose to Cleveland in the finals. Well, we got one more chance at this. Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry is retiring a Hawk, weirdly. Kawhi is retiring a Clipper. Damian Lillard's retiring a Hawk as well. Why did Steph and Dame end up on the Hawks? I don't know. Regardless, I don't know, man. What are we going to do? Blazers get number 1 via Milwaukee, so that Damian Lillard trade seems to work out for the Blazers. Hopefully that will be the case in real life down the line. Although their pick is swapped with them at number 9. But yeah, well, here we are. So we have we have a late pick in this draft. Mike Brown will probably get poached this offseason, but it was great to have you, I guess. Well, we got to try to do something crazy. And I kind of have an idea of what I want to do. Maybe we could trade Kyrie, although it says he has a no trade clause, I guess. So maybe we can't. It's not that I want to trade Kyrie, but I guess I got to try anything at this point. I'm sure we're over the second apron now with Lively's contract coming in, even though I thought that earlier. So, 197 million at this point, that probably is under the second apron technically. I guess I'll explore all trade options and see if I come up with anything. I'll start with maybe trading away Kyrie Irving, who's 36 at this point. Still had a good season, though. We'll see if we get a crazy offer in return. So because I want to try to win a championship to end this video, I'm going to be trading Kyrie Irving in 2030 and 2032 in a second-round pick, get Hugo and RJ Barrett off the Toronto Raptors. This seems like a very bizarre trade. Probably isn't the most realistic thing in the world, don't get me wrong, but at this point, I just want to see if we can bring a championship. We get Hugo and RJ Barrett. That would make our lineup very, very good all around, and then that means we resign Denny Avdia as well, who wants a bag. But that gives us the best possible starting 5, I think, possible to try to make one last final run with Luka Doncic. So I feel bad for Kyrie, but we're just trying to make something happen in this video, and that's kind of why we did it. So that gives us starting 5 now with Luka, Hugo, RJ, Denny Avdia, and Derek Lively. So that's what we'll roll with for this 5th and final season. We're not sitting on our hands and hoping for the best. We try to make something happen, and we'll see if it pays off. Will it? I don't truly know. But Hugo's up to an 87. Avdia's an 86. DJ Wagner up to an 82. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm optimistic and excited. But this is going to be our final chance at a championship. Really hoping it ends up paying off. We definitely just gambled with trading Kyrie, although he was older. But proficiency is 7 seconds, which is fine. Can we be higher than that? Maybe at a balance, do we just run that? 4.5 at balance. So maybe we change that. We probably could have done this earlier as well. But this is what we'll roll with for this final season. So balance system. Quinn Snyder's the head coach. Mike Brown's still the assistant. Got Luka, Hugo, RJ, Denny Avdia, Derek Lively, Gafford, Wagner, Washington, and then Jaden Hardy. We'll get rid of the 9-man rotation. So, all right, man. We will see how it goes. I'm excited. I'm optimistic, and I'm hoping this season pays off exactly how we expect it to or want it to. So Luka Doncic wins MVP in this final season. I also imagine Quinn Snyder gets Coach of the Year because we ended up winning 70 games. So if we can't win a championship this year, then we are some absolute failures. But I'm not too surprised to see us do so damn good because, like I said, trading Kyrie for that package we got gave us a really good, well-rounded roster. The starting 5 is just super well-rounded. Average of an 86 overall, so really solid. Hugo's up to 22 points per game, so basically replaces what Kyrie was doing, but a lot younger, probably better defense as well. 17.5 from RJ, 13 from Wagner, 12.5, and then 10, and then 10. We also moved the system of balance. I don't know if that made a difference, but hey, we draw the Lakers. We have D-Book, Murray, Koa, Hendricks, and AD. This is by far the best Lakers team I've ever seen built ever in 2K Sim, so I'm a little nervous for this one, not gonna lie, weirdly enough. Hopefully we don't lose in round 1 to the LA Lakers. Okay, so we beat them in 4. Now we draw the Spurs, who have Wemby and Trey. So we beat this team earlier, but Ace Bailey has developed since. We'll see if we can maybe do it again. 70-win team. Hopefully we don't get bounced in round 2, and we're gonna beat them in 5. And now we get Utah once again, who obviously embarrassed us last year. Well, here goes nothing against them. So 1-0 start. We're up 2-0. So far, so good. And I think trading Kyrie was all that we needed. And we beat them in 5. So we've only dropped 2 games. And now we draw the Brooklyn Nets to end the video. So hopefully we can end this video off with a championship. Of course, we get Brooklyn. And every time I sleep on the Brooklyn Nets, it feels like they always end up beating me. And I'll go ahead and say it again, just to maybe prove this theory. I feel like this Nets team is not that scary. We'll see if those are famous last words or not. So game 1, 1-0. Game 2, nope, we're good. We're chilling. 3-0, and we are going to beat them in 4. So we just had a magic playoff run. Luka Doncic Finals MVP. So you know what? If nothing else, we ended the video on a championship. I definitely think that Kyrie trade paid off. Hugo, I've really noticed, is like a, in that draft class is a beast, man. I mean, look at his freaking grades. He's just an all-around fantastic player. Averaged 24 in the playoffs. So I think getting him along with Denny, Derek Lively, RJ, I mean, just together, just at the very end, we put together a really good roster. But hey, at the end of the day, we didn't go home empty-handed. We finally got Luka Doncic his championship ring. Would have loved to have gotten Kyrie a second one as well, but unfortunately just cannot get it done with those two. I hope you guys enjoyed the video regardless. I'm going to end it on that one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.